guys, David Cordero from PassTheGuitar.live here, bringing you another song tutorial. And this time, we're gonna go with Love Me Do by the Beatles. Such a great song, perfect for players of all levels. You can experiment with this song as much as you want, but you can also, with just a few chords and a simple strumming pattern, start playing it today. And you also don't need a capo. That's all you're gonna need, and it's the Beatles. You know I'm biased because I love the Beatles, but I bet if you clicked on this video, you also do. And this is all you need to know before we start this lesson. So if you are ready, you know the drill. Let's waste no more time and dive right in. Alright, let's start by taking a look at the chords we're gonna need for this song. And as I told you, we only need 3, and they are basic chords. Chords that every guitar player needs to know, learns right from the beginning. So if you're a beginner, this is gonna be a perfect song for you to practice these chords. We're gonna need G major, C major, and D major. Yeah, only 3 chords, basic chords, and these chords are part of the 8 basic chords every guitar player learns right from the beginning. And if you don't know them, that's okay. Check out this playlist here where we cover all of them. Now that we have the chords, it's time for us to take a look at some strumming patterns. So let's start by taking a look at a simple strumming pattern. This one here, it's 4 strums down, 4 quarter notes, 4 hits per measure. All you have to do is strum those chords down. Super simple. I'm just gonna show you. If you're not really comfortable with strumming yet, just pay attention to the way that I'm counting and to the sound. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and down, 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 down. 2, 3, 4. Nice and easy, right? And it sounds pretty good also. Let's plug in a chord. Let's use G major. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. Love me do. 3, 4. That's all you need. If this is enough challenge for you, you can skip to the next chapter. But if you want to take a look at the other strumming pattern where we're going to be using some 8th notes so we can actually get some up strums, it's time for us to take a look at it. And here it is. I told you it was not going to be much harder. Just a couple 8th notes added on the 3rd beat so we can swing a little bit. Just bear in mind that the way that we're going to subdivide those 8th notes, it's with a bit of a swing. A shuffle feel. It's not going to be straight, even 8th notes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. 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 And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nice. Now that you heard how it sounds, and you understand that we're gonna do this with a bit of a swing so it sounds more like a shuffle, let's plug in a chord. Let's use the same good old G major. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. I hope you guys are enjoying this tutorial so far, and if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, click on that bell, and like this video. Your support is what helps me bring all this content for you here. And if you have any requests for any type of content you would like to see me covering in this channel, leave me a comment and I'll get right to it. And now that we covered the chords that we need and a couple options for a strumming pattern, it's time for us to take a look at the form and chord progressions. And this song comes packed with an intro, verses, interludes, a bridge, a solo section, and an outro. Yes, a lot of parts, but most of them we're gonna be playing a similar chord progression. So let's start by taking a look at the verse. The iconic verses of this song will help us understand and play all the other parts. So let's take a look at it. And here we have it. It looks like an 8-bar phrase, but we actually have 9 measures here. The ninth measure, the one all the way at the end where you see a C chord on top of a quarter note and then a bunch of rests, that's the break that we hit right at the end of the verses, the iconic break. So let's go over these chords. We start with a full measure of G major, and after that we have a full measure of C major. From the third measure we go back to G major, and then we head to C major again. And now we're going to move to the second line. We hit a full measure of G major again, and then we hit a bunch of full measures of C major, and then for the 7th measure is another C major, and then for the 8th measure is another full measure of C major, and then on the 9th measure we have that C major on top of a quarter note where we're gonna play and break after that. And break meaning just mute the strings. So we have that silence because everybody stops aside from the vocals there. That's pretty cool, right? Let's practice the verses. And you can use either the quarter note strumming pattern, the simple one, or the one with the 8th notes with the shuffle feel. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3. Third measure, G, 2, 4, C, 2. Moving to the second line. 1, 2, 3, and 4. C, 2, 3, and 4. C, 2, 3, and 4. C, 2, 3, and 4. Break. 2, 3, 4. That's it. Super nice, right? And I want you to keep an eye on that first line of the verses. 4 measures where we're going between G major and C major, because that's very similar to other parts of the song. Let's take a look at the intro, interludes, and outro, because you're gonna understand how they are so similar. First, let's take a look at the intro. It's an 8-bar phrase, but the first line, you see, it's the first 4 measures, just like the verse. We start with full measure of G major, and then we head to a full measure of C major, and then G major again, and then C major. And after that we head to the second line, which is still pretty similar. We have a G major, and then we have a C major, and 2 full measures of G major to end. And this is an 8-bar phrase, not 9 measures like the verse. But take a look here now at interlude number 1, which interlude is when they play the instrumental part in between the verses. And interlude 1 is just like the first line of the intro, and also the first line of the verses. It's just a full measure of G, moving to a full measure of C major, back to G major again, and ending this 4-bar phrase in a C major. Now take a look at the outro. And the outro is when they keep repeating, oh, love me do, oh, love me do. And you have here is the same thing as the interlude, but it's repeated and it fades out. Nice, right? Now take a look at interlude number 2. It looks like the second line of the intro. So take a look at the intro again here. Pay attention on the second line. We have a full measure of G, moving to C major, and then ending with 2 full measures of G. And now here, interlude number 2 is same thing. G major moving to C major, and then ending with 2 full measures of G. Nice, right? With the intro, we learned a bunch of different parts of the song. And that's why it's so important to look for patterns in songs, because it will help you memorize the parts and also understand the structure of the song. For the purpose of practicing, let's just use the intro, because with the intro, we're practicing the interludes and the outro as well, because the chord progressions of those other parts are part of the intro. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba, 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 ba. 1, 2, 3, a 4, and 1, 2, 3, a 4. Now 2 full measures of G, a 4. 1, 2, 3, a 4. Now let's take a look at the most different part in this song. We're gonna start with the bridge. We have left the bridge in the solo section, and I'm gonna start with the bridge because the solo section is pretty much the bridge with some extra measures. So take a look at the bridge here. An 8-bar phrase where we start finally gonna use that D major, 2 full measures of D major, second measure, and then we go to a full measure of C major, and then a full measure of G major. Notice that the second line is pretty much the same thing as the first line, and the only reason why it's written different here is because we are accounting for the way that we're gonna end the bridge with those 4/4 notes on G. So second line starts with a full measure of D, and followed by another full measure of D, and then we have a full measure of C, and now we're gonna play the G with 4/4 notes, and after that a rest. So 1, 2, 3, rest. That's it. We finally get to use the D major here, and we get to stay in it for a couple measures. So that's very nice. And if you don't feel comfortable playing that break, it's okay. Just play the first line repeated 2 times. That's gonna work as well. I'm gonna play the break, which means that we're playing 3/4 notes and then we rest on the 4th beat. And I'm also gonna try to go in between the 2 strumming patterns. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2. Second line. 1, 2, 3, a 4. D, 2, 3, a 4. C, 2, 3, a 4. And G, G, G. Rest. Yeah, awesome. Now let's take a look at the solo section. Look at it. I told you it was the same thing as the bridge. You have the first 4 measures repeated, which means that you have 8 measures to play just like the bridge, but instead of having that break at the end of the bridge with the 3/4 notes, we actually just keep playing the strumming pattern and head over to the second line of the solo section where you just get to play a bunch of measures of G. You play 3 full measures of G major plus the break on the last measure where you just hit the G on 1 and then you break after that. That's pretty much it. You already practiced with me the bridge, so if you're feeling comfortable, all we need to do here is just add those 4 measures of G, and don't forget that the last measure of G is a 1/4 note hit. It's a break. We're gonna just hit 1 time and then rest for the rest of the measure. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Repeating. 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, a 4. C, 2, 3, a 4. G, 2, 3, a 4. Now we go to the G's. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, a 4. Break. 2, 3, 4. And now that we covered everything you need to know in order to play Love Me Do, it's time for us to do a playthrough demo so you get the chance to practice playing along with me some parts of the song. I'm gonna do a verse and an interlude. I'm gonna do verse 2 and interlude 2 and also the bridge. So I'm gonna do verse 2 and interlude 2 together because they kind of go together, because you hit that break and it sings love me do, whoa, love me do. So you get to play those parts together. But I'll stop and then count us in again for us to play the bridge. So let's start with verse 2 and interlude 2. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Love, love me do. You know I love you. I always need you. 3 and 4, please. Love me do. Whoa, love me do. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now let's play the bridge. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Someone to love, somebody new. 2, 3, 4. Someone to love, someone like you. 2, 3, rest. And that's a wrap for this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed and learned a lot. And don't forget to check out our playlist Song Tutorials, where you can learn tons of your favorite songs. And you can start today. So head over there now. My name is David Cordero, and I'll see you guys on another video.